Right now, somewhere, a kid is staring at a wall, not a screen, not a toy, a wall. Their parents are panicking. They're reaching for a tablet, anything to fix this, because boredom feels like a problem, a glitch, a void that needs to be filled immediately. But what if it isn't a glitch at all? What if boredom is one of the most important tools your brain ever built? For most of human history, there was no cure for boredom. No phone in your pocket, just you, your thoughts, and whatever was directly in front of you. And somehow, in all that empty time, your ancestors invented language. They invented art. They invented the wheel. None of that happened during a moment of stimulation. It happened in the silence in between. Here's the strange part. Boredom isn't the absence of feeling. It's a feeling with a job to do. In 2012, psychologist Sandy Mann ran a simple experiment. She had participants complete a boring task, copying numbers from a phone book, then asked them to invent creative uses for a polystyrene cup. The bored group generated more original ideas than a group who hadn't been bored first. Boredom hadn't drained their creativity, it had loaded the gun. Why would that be true? Your brain is not built to relax when it's underwhelmed. It's built to search. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network, a set of brain regions that switch on, not when you're focused, but when you're doing nothing in particular. It's where your mind wanders, connects unrelated ideas, and quietly solves problems you weren't even working on. You've felt this. An answer that wouldn't come while you were trying, then arrives in the shower, on a walk, half asleep. That's this system, finishing the job your focused mind couldn't. Boredom is the on switch for that system. And for most of history, humans had no choice but to flip it constantly. Anthropologist Marshall Salins studied hunter-gatherer societies and found something that contradicts almost everything modern life assumes. Foraging groups often worked only a few hours a day. The rest of the time was open, unfilled. That open time wasn't wasted. It's where storytelling came from, where pattern recognition turned into early astronomy. Necessity didn't invent the spear. Boredom, paired with available time, did. Now compare that to your day. Every gap has been engineered shut. Waiting for a bus, phone, the 3 seconds between thoughts, filled before you even register the discomfort. You've trained yourself to treat boredom like a fire alarm, something to silence immediately. But here's what you lose when you do that. Psychologist Manoush Zomorodi, in her research on boredom and creativity, found that constant stimulation doesn't just fail to help your best thinking, it actively blocks it. Quick dopamine hits train your brain to expect resolution in seconds. Real insight doesn't work on that schedule. It needs the slow, undirected wandering that only boredom provides. So what does this mean for you? Maybe even watching this because 3 seconds of silence felt unbearable. It means the discomfort you feel when a screen isn't in front of you isn't a malfunction. It's a signal. The same signal your ancestors felt staring into a fire, except they had nowhere to send it but inward. You have somewhere to send it now. A glowing rectangle, always within reach, ready to absorb every ounce of unstructured time you have. And every time you do that, you're not relaxing. You're starving a system that was built to wander, to connect, to invent. The next time boredom shows up, before you reach for the reflex, consider sitting with it for 60 more seconds. Not because boredom feels good. It doesn't. It's supposed to feel like a question your brain is asking you. What do you actually want to think about when nothing is telling you what to think about? That kid staring at the wall isn't broken, and they're not wasting time. They're doing something most adults have forgotten how to do. So the next time you feel that itch, that restless nothing, ask yourself a different question than the one you're used to asking. Not, how do I make this go away? But, what is this trying to build?